Hi everyone, thanks for watching our channel. So you've been with us during the recovery of USS The Sullivans, and now we are rehabbing and decontaminating. And thank you for all of your interest, your subscriptions. Ring the bell, subscribe, leave comments, and I hope you enjoy this video. Hi everyone, Shane Stevenson, Director of Museum Collections and Curator, you know where, at the Buffalo Naval Park. And we're looking to get back to our other videos besides updating you on the Sullivans. We certainly were doing videos on the Croaker and USS Little Rock, and so we're kind of getting back to that. So this is, I'm going to be talking weapons control on USS Little Rock. We are looking at late 50s, early 60s technology here. We had the converted Cleveland-class cruisers into guided missile cruisers that went from CLs with the hull number to CLGs, cruiser light guided. And, you know, we've talked about USS Little Rock and her sister ships, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then, of course, then you had changing technology, and then you have the USS Albany after that. Okay, so I've mentioned about the whiteboard. I'm going to start using this. Hopefully this will be a nice little guidance for you before we actually go up to weapons control on the O2 level. So let's take a look. So we're looking at weapons control, USS Little Rock. This is the weapons control room. It's on the O2 level above the missile house. Some of the equipment we'll be talking about are the SPG-49s. They look kind of like that. We talked about the SPW-2s. Those were the smaller dishes right in front and behind of the SPG-49s. All right, so those are on the aft superstructure. The control room is on the first platform. All right, you got second deck, third deck, first platform. All right, and we did a video about the SPG-49s. So what we're seeing with the SPG-49s is that those are actually tracking the target. The SPW-2s are tracking the missiles and making adjustments to get them to the target. We'll also be talking a little bit about the missile house. You've seen, hopefully, the videos for that, part 1, 2, and 3. We'll be talking about the Mark 7 guided missile launcher system. Kind of looks like that from the profile. All right, sorry. But it kind of looks like that, and that's where the blue Talos missiles would be, or the, I believe, the Terrier missiles, if they use the same system. The Mark 111 guidance computer. We'll not be showing that today in a video, but we will get down there. So kind of discussing the flow, and this is again just really broken down. You know, it's a little more complex, as you can imagine. But you have the two air search radars, the SPS-43, the SPS-30. They start to track targets. All right, the weapons control officer, he designates the most serious threats, and because this is late 50s, early 60s technology, they use cursors on the display boards and the designation indicators, and they put in the computer, they put a cursor underneath it, and then that allows those threats to be tracked. So info is then sent to the SPG-49s to begin tracking the threats. And now that was the video that I showed of the SPG-49s. All right, in the equipment room, you can find that video. So once the SPG-49s start tracking, they would then send that information to the Mark 111 guidance computer, which would then make adjustments to the target during tracking. Obviously, the the threats are moving through the air or on the surface, And the Mark 111 guidance computer will guide any ordnance to the threat by keeping all of that information updated. The Mark 7 launcher system, right there, would then connect with the Mark 111 computer to engage the target, and then the Mark 7 would then actually be able to launch the missiles off of the launcher and track the target. So what we are going to do is we are going to go to weapons control. All right, now the caretaker of Little Rock, Brendan, he went up there prior, and what you see is all of these X's are things that have been cannibalized out of this room. So the yellow is the equipment that's staying or is currently here, and all of the X's are the computers that have been removed. So what we are looking at here, hopefully you guys can see that, and I'll give an explanation here. All right, so usually this designator indicator is sent from the 43 and the 30, and that's tracking all of the targets all at once. All right, that is now gone. You'll see there's 3 banks of computers. This first bank here is the actual firing of the missiles. All right, so you have the guided missile firing panel. As you can see, that was taken. And then the target engagement consoles here, which were here. In the middle, those middle 3 consoles here are for the Mark 7 guided missile launcher system. And what this does is these consoles let the sailors and crew know where the missiles are in the missile house and what is their condition and what is their status. All right, so these middle ones would then would tell weapons control what the status of the Talos missiles are within the missile house itself. Then here you have targeting and tracking. All right, so our planned position indicators are missing. All right, but we do have the height storage console, which then, again, exactly what it does is measuring the altitude of the targets. All right, there's other associated equipment here. We did have a nuclear weapon launch authorization switch that is now gone. But various equipment, we had a stable element here, which was, you know, almost the center above the missile house, but below the 49s, all right, to keep things stable. And all of this associated equipment here is now missing as well. So I hope this is kind of a new way of explaining things. I hope that you enjoy it. And hopefully it makes it a little clearer for you as we go through. And then again with the explanations of the actual weapons control itself. And again, this is pretty pared down. I mean, you can go into great detail with this, but this is the general flow of information, all right, for weapons control. All right, so we're going to head up to weapons control itself, and we'll actually look at all these consoles or the shock mounts if they are not there. Come along. So now I'm standing on top of the missile house, and what we are doing is we are going to go into this large structure here, at least on the O2 level. Here's the door. All right, and again, this leads to weapons control. there's a lot of degradation in there. So when you looked at Brendan's map that he made of the X's and the highlighted yellow, it almost takes a minute to get acclimated here. So let's check this out. Now when you step in, all right, I'll turn the camera around. First thing you see is all this piping. I have no idea where this came from. Is this from canvas? You can see it pretty much goes the whole length of missile control. All right, so not only has she been cannibalized after she was decommissioned, decom means something else now for us, decontamination, but after she was decommissioned, but this also became a storage. So I'd like to kind of work with the crew to get this cleaned up. So what we have here, let's get out my notes. All right, here we have a radar control set. It says the SPS 30 control. All right, so as we mentioned on the whiteboard, we have the 30, we have the 43. And this again is that big black dish that's on the aft superstructure. You have the firing emergency panel right here. And you can see rail A and rail B. All right, so that meant each rail of the Mark 7 launcher. This is where the nuclear weapons authorization switch would have been, which is too bad we don't have that, but that makes sense that it would have been cannibalized and taken out. So you had a switch, a go, no-go switch. All right, the captain gave the order. You had the switch here, and you also, let me lighten that up a little bit. And then you also had a switch down in the missile house in the wing and fin area, and that key had to be turned at the same time in those areas after the captain gave the order. All right, we have a launcher indicator here. Status, launcher status indicator. And I believe Brendan was mentioning that he was writing on everything here, so. So if we head forward, I had mentioned that there would be a designation indicator, which would have been right around here, right, which is the overall view of the ship from the radar up top. All right, unfortunately, we're missing our Navstar computer, which was an early satellite system that updated targets every 90 minutes. And that would have been around here, somewhere in this corner. So an early, called the Navstar system from a satellite. We have a TTY console here. Launching system status display board. And then we get into that first row of consoles. I'm going to get it right angle. So we are missing the middle, which is the guided missile firing panel, which was cannibalized, but we do have the target engagement console here, presumably for rail 1 of the launcher and rail 2. And again, this first row of consoles was for firing the missiles themselves. We do a little step up, And now we have the second row of consoles. And this is for where, again, the weapons were located, where the Talos missile system was located within the missile house. So we have the launcher direction console, again with rail A and rail B. Then we have the tactical control console here. Again, missile status, rail A, rail B. And what we are missing here, I can't even get back there, is the designator console, which would have been mounted right around there. We have this big tub there. I don't know what that is, but... And then the third row for targeting and tracking is very cannibalized. Let's see, there's a hole in the deck right there. And what we do have is the height storage unit. Wow. Right there. But we are missing the range height indicator, which would be around that corner. And we are also missing the plan position indicator, which would have been probably right here. Let's see if I can get to the other side. Here we go. So on this side, there would have been the stable element. All right, the base ring. That might be it right there, where I'm standing. The gunnery coordinate converter is right over there. We'll try to head over there. But the associated equipments, which would have been right here, you'll see the spaces and the holes in the deck. Right, and then our all-important air conditioning unit. So let's see if I can get... We also had a scan converter, a video converter right here, and there's the door leading out. So really we're looking at, let's see, oh, they even have the curtains. That's pretty nice. Yeah. Okay. We are looking at, there it is, frames 103 through 109. And we are on the O2 level of USS Little Rock. Do a little climbing here. So again, this board is the gunnery coordinate converter. And then all of that associated equipment that was removed. All right, well, this was not what I had not been in this compartment before this video. So it was a lot smaller than I expected. But hope you liked this. I hope you liked it, the video. And again, if you need the referral, I'm starting to. If you need reference again, you can go back and to the beginning of the video. I'm beginning to use the whiteboard I don't know if you like it. Please leave us a comment. If that helps you kind of see the flow, the workflow, and the information flow on this late 50s, 1960s, early 1960s trekking and guidance systems here on board USS Little Rock and all the Talos and Terrier cruisers. Please subscribe, ring the bell, as I mentioned, leave comments, look for other videos down on the right-hand side or right down below the video. And we'll be bringing you, again, more videos like this, and also, of course, updating you on USS The Sullivans. Thanks so much, and we'll see you again soon.